Some analysis going. The Deven Choksey, MD of DRChoksey Finserv, joins us on the show. Hi, Deven. Good morning. Good to see you. When you listened into that chat, what do you make of the stock? Ashok Leyland, I'm reading a report coming in from Jefferies. They have actually downgraded the stock because they are saying that the volumes itself in the trucks market has seen a bit of a degrowth. It's slowed down in this fiscal year and particularly the month of January. Your view on Ashok Leyland, how much of the good news is in the price?
Nigel, good morning. In fact, I think this is the time to possibly go significantly overweight on this particular space. In particular, I think companies like Tata Motors and Ashok Leyland. Couple of few points I think which I believe that I think are going to go well. On one side, the commercial vehicle demand is likely to surge because of the new roads, expressways coming up, and at the same time, I think government's initiative of building the integrated corridors. So that is where probably we are likely to see the higher amount of order coming in from the commercial vehicles. More importantly, with the feeder route getting strengthened, I think the light commercial vehicle orders are increasing at the same time. And I think the other space wherein this particular company, Ashok Leyland in particular, which is I think very favorably placed as I see it, is in the area of buses and also the e-buses. E-buses, LCVs, I think are the ones I think which are likely to create the new segment for them. And along with that, the defense part, I think, which we believe, I think, remains extremely convincing for us. So all in all, put together, each of the product range and the business environment, I think, remains quite conducive for this company. And probably, I think, they have been extremely, I think, strong with their what we call comments on the subject. So believe that I think the management confidence also remains in a reasonably high level. At the same time, the input cost is not growing up in a very significant manner, which they are in a position to pass it over. So all in all put together, I would like to think that I think this is one opportunity. In any price correction in this stock, I think will become a buy opportunity for the company in the portfolio.
All right.
Deven, just discussing some more numbers. Some of these platform companies have been doing very well. Earlier, it was, PB Fintech, Delivery. Today, Nykaa could do well because of its earnings. Do you like any of these names for the longer term?
Yes, Sonia, good morning. Well, I think the company's business model are good. I think particularly, I think when you look at companies like even Nykaa for that matter, or even gaming company like Nazara, where I think the numbers have been coming relatively steadier and better compared to I think what they were in the previous past. So I think more importantly, in particular in case of Nykaa, as we see it, I think the number of stores increasing and the amount of footfall I think reaching into is basically creating a better situation for them in form of increasing the sales, which is what we have been observing, and at the same time I think giving them the margins which up till now I think the company was not seeing. So all in all put together, I guess I think the things have started improving. However, the question remains whether I think it is getting reflected in the price. In my viewpoint, I think everything is fully getting reflected in the price. The valuation wise, these stocks are adequately priced or maybe richly priced. So I think one will have to wait for some good amount of correction. If at all, I think the price correction is not coming, then the time correction will have to happen. Then probably I think one could buy into this particular space selectively.
No, got that. Deven, good morning. Thanks for joining in. The other space was technology, right? Yesterday, the index ended 3% higher. Infosys was up 4%. TCS was up 4%. Forget banks. I mean, no help from banks, but there's always something which kind of comes along and helps. It's been Reliance in the past, and now this yesterday was IT services. Just a trading move, or you think one can bet on this from here? IT.
So I think, Prashant, good morning. The fundamentals of IT is showing the signs of strength, definitely for sure. In the current year, you are likely to see the higher amount of order inflows coming in from the larger customers, and that too for a longer tenure, particularly for the likes of TCS, likes of Infosys. And that is where we remain relatively more convinced about. At the same time, the mid-tier IT companies, I think, though they are no more mid-tier, they are probably, I think, the large cap companies now, including the LTTS, including the LTIM or the SANT. These are the companies which are operating in their own niche play. In my viewpoint, I think the index stocks are basically given higher amount of weightage at this point of time by the funds, largely because of the allocation of money going into them, of course. But at the same time, I think what we are observing is that some of the portfolio shifts are taking place, where one has seen, I think, the saturation in some of the sectors. the money is getting shifted into the IT companies, and that's where probably I think you're likely to see this rally continuing. As I had earlier also observed, that IT company holds the potential of giving 15 to 20% kind of an appreciation in a 12 to 15 months time. I guess I think we are on that particular path at this point of time.